It has been a seesaw last 2 days between West Indies and England in the second test match up at Trent Bridge. Let's do a little recap of what has taken place so far. England batted first, 416. West Indies went out there, 457. Now England are 248 for three, essentially 207 for three because they lead by 207. Batting a second time. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Top of Off Cricket Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Henry. And as usual, we are talking everything West Indies cricket. Now, I didn't get to do an episode yesterday after the second day's play. So we're going to talk about the last 2 days' play. All right, the second and the third day. One of the things that stuck with me is the interview with Kavem Hodge when he said when Mark Wood was bowling, he had to say to him, "Hey man, I got wife and kids at home," because that's how fast Mark Wood was bowling. At one point he got up to 97 miles an hour. That is searing pace. That is no easy pace to deal with, and it was admirable because I was afraid how were West Indies going to handle the pace of Mark Wood. And I think they did a phenomenal job in the way they handled the pace. Kavem Hodge really batted like he had a wife and kids at home. That's how he batted. That's how impressed I was. Now, he's not one of the most flamboyant, flashy, he has all the strokes. He's kind of limited. But here's a young man that's making most of what he has. And that is what you want to see. You don't have to have everything. But the little that you have to make great use of it. And the talent, this young man is maximizing his talent. That's what he's doing. Brilliant 120 yesterday. Brilliant leadership from him. When West Indies needed someone to stand up and put their hands up and say, "I'll take control," that is what he did. Matter of fact, he had company with Alec Athanaze. And that is what we want to see. When you lose 1, 2 wickets, 3 wickets, someone should come out there and say, "Okay, we're going to stop the bleeding." Because this is, with West Indies, this is the trend. Every time we lose 1, it turns into 2 or 3. We tend to lose wickets in clusters. And to see how Hodge and Athanaze batted and stopped that bleeding, that is what we need. I said in the last episode, we need partnerships. And in this innings that West Indies played, that is what we had. And the core players that I spoke about that will need to come to the fore, 3 of them were involved in important partnerships. Craig Brathwaite in a 50-plus run partnership with Mikhail Louis. Jason Holder in a 50-run plus partnership with Kavem Hodge. A 50-run plus partnership with, was it 50 or it could have been less? Nonetheless, it was an important partnership with Joshua De Silva. Joshua De Silva had another important partnership with Shamar Joseph at the back end of the innings. Turned out to be 71. Very entertaining, very important. Partnerships wins you matches. Whether it's bowling partnerships or batting partnerships, it wins you matches. And this is the template for West Indies going forward. Multiple partnerships throughout the innings. When you look at the scorecard, you should see valuable contributions all down the batting order. Yes, you're going to have 1 or 2 failures, but you should see good scores from top to bottom. And if you look at the West Indies scorecard, that is what you'll see. Brathwaite 48, Louis 21, Athanaze 82, Hodge 120, Holder 27, De Silva 82 not out, Shamar Joseph 35 or 33, whatever the score was. That is what you need to see. Consistency throughout the batting lineup and not phone numbers. Too often our batting lineup looks like someone's phone number. That is just not going to cut it at the international test level. A couple of episodes ago, I said Joshua De Silva has to come to the fore. He has to come to the fore because one of the issues is no one has been challenging him for that wicket-keeping position. And I believe Joshua Da Silva is a better batsman than what we are getting. I believe Joshua Da Silva is a batsman capable of batting in West Indies' top order. That's how good he is. I personally believe that he's not being utilized properly at number 7. I would actually like to see him and Jason Holder swap places. This is the kind of leadership that I have seen Da Silva provide in the past. But it is too every now and then. He'll do it in this match and then he'll go missing for another 5 matches. Joshua Da Silva's batting average, Joshua Da Silva's Test career does not reflect the talent and the potential that he has. And I am hoping that this innings that he's played here gives him the confidence going forward. Because if we go back to the second Test in Australia, this will be his second half century in 5 innings. That needs to look more like 3 and 5 going forward based on the talent and potential. It needs to be every 5 innings, 3 half centuries. And we can live with that. Ever so often, that is going to be converted into a century. He has the ability to finish his Test career with at least 15 Test centuries. He has the ability. He has the talent. It's all up to him now. So, England are going to put up a good score in the second innings. And once again, we are going to need our core batsmen, Craig Brathwaite, Jason Holder, Joshua Da Silva, to come to the fore. Between the 3 of them in this first innings, they gave us 157 runs. And I personally think that's good. That is good. Can it be better? Yes. But that is what it needs to look like. Your core batsmen need to make good contributions. In this Test match, our main worry has been the bowling. It has been erratic at best. It seems like after the 3rd ball of the innings, West Indies the bowlers have not been able to catch themselves. First innings, we gave away over 40-yard boundaries. And we're on pace for the same thing in this innings again. Too many boundary balls. It's making it difficult for captain and bowler to set a field. Now, if you're the bowler and you're telling the captain, well, because more than likely you're the one that needs to tell the captain, hey, look, this is what I want. This is what I'm trying to do. And you're the one, you should be the one setting your field. Then, if you're not bowling to the field that you set, you're putting the captain and the team in a bad position. Jaden Seals, Alzari Joseph, Jason Holder, they've got to work this out amongst them. They are the 3 senior bowlers in this lineup. They've got to work this out. Somebody's got to say, hey, I'm going to take the responsibility to lock down an end. Stop the bleeding. Naturally, if you stop the bleeding, some wickets are going to tumble. So let's see what happens. I'm going to talk a little bit about Kirk McKenzie. I know y'all didn't like it the last time, Kirk McKenzie fans, but he's making it easy for me to say what I say. He's not ready for Test match cricket. He's absolutely not ready for Test match cricket. Technically, nor mentally. He's struggling right now. That was a horrendous shot that he played. Gave Shoaib Bashir that wicket. That was an absolutely horrendous shot. Anyways, as always, let's talk about it down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the last 3 days so far. What are you expecting come day 4? You know, what is it going to look like? What kind of score West Indies you're expecting West Indies to chase? I am your host, Kevin Henry, for the Top of Off Cricket Podcast. See you next time.